home state of Hawaii. If you couldn't hear in the back, the question was about our crumbling infrastructure. He works in the wastewater programs here in the city and the woefully lacking resources to address our failing infrastructure. What's happening here is unfortunately a challenge and a problem that every community across the country is facing. The Army Corps of Engineers in my home state of Hawaii alone put an estimate at the infrastructure needs in our little state at over $1 billion. So multiply that by communities across this country, in places here in San Francisco, in places like Flint, Michigan, where people are being poisoned and sick because of their failed infrastructure and polluted water. These are things that are happening all across this country, and people's voices are not being heard about how our failing infrastructure is directly impacting our health and well-being. Passing a big infrastructure bill, making those investments should be something that is a bipartisan concern because it impacts every community in this country. Now, if you look at people in Washington say, well, look, there's just not enough money. There's just not enough money to make sure that people have clean water to drink. There's just not enough money to make sure that our roads are safe to drive on, that our bridges are not going to fail us. There's just not enough money. But these are the very same people who continue to vote for and to advocate for spending trillions of dollars on wasteful regime change wars or nuclear weapons that make us less safe, that increase suffering in the people in the countries where we wage these wars, that strengthen terrorist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, undermining our own national security, what to speak of the cost that is borne by our men and women in uniform. So you ask what I will change. I will change our priorities in this country and set them right so we stop wasting trillions of all of our dollars on these wasteful, counterproductive wars and dedicate them to rebuilding our infrastructure, to taking care of these urgent needs that we have in communities all across this country. You will hear a lot of empty promises from politicians about all of the great things that they want to do for you. But unless you have someone in the White House who has that courage and that experience and leadership to bring about that change so that we are taking those trillions of dollars and bringing them here, then those promises will remain empty and unfulfilled. That's the change that I'm bringing and that I'm offering to you. Thank you.